All right, so how's everyone enjoying that brand new update? You guys have got to let me know in the comments down below because I'm noticing that this one has been somewhat divisive. Yeah, sound off, but we've got some brand new Space Marine 2 updates, news to go over, some crazy data mining discoveries, including some hidden mechanics that explain why gameplay might be feeling a little bit different or off from lower to higher difficulties. But we also need to talk about missing features, for lack of a better word, from the update that were promised to us. They were teased before the update and they were not included. Trust me, the community definitely noticed, and the overall recent update appears to have been a pretty big success, but there's also a part of the community that feels like the game has just become way too easy. And we've also got some counter arguments to that one as well. And we got to talk about customization that has seen some changes that some are extremely upset about because their armor colors have changed without their permission, and it's not what they want. And yes, we're going over your top comments. And by the way, I never say this usually, but if you are new to the channel or are visiting again and you haven't pressed subscribe, be sure to press that subscribe button. We'd love to have you guys so you can stay tuned to the latest news and updates. But yeah, we got to talk about that recent patch because before the patch released, it was very much teased that, hey, this is going to come with server improvements, all sorts of cool stuff. Check it out right here. It says this: disappointing patch. Did they fix the servers? Nope. Most of you have experienced the agony of infinite joining server loops, disconnects, and players unable to join games already in progress. And did they fix the matchmaking? Nope. I'm going to TLDR this one because it's a little bit long, but the gist of it is that there are some of you that are very disappointed that this recent patch didn't even touch the server maintenance, nothing like that. We did have some maintenance ahead of the patch, of course, that was prepping for the patch, but nothing mentioned that, hey, servers have been stabilized more. And a lot of players are still dealing with problems connecting, getting disconnected. Let me know if that's you or not. I myself, once again, it's so strange. There's a portion of the community that just is not having problem whatsoever. Now, I am on PC and I've seen people on the PS5 and, you know, even console saying, hey, I'm also having no problems. And then there's a group that's definitely having severe issues. So I hope Saber comes out and clarifies exactly what they are doing when it comes to improving the servers, because they really need to let us know what is going on there for sure. But yeah, you know, this recent update apparently to some have made the game way too easy. So check it out right here. The game was far too easy and they made it easier. This comes from Sir Meow the Brave. Love the game, would love to keep playing, but I hit a wall in which, unless my teammates are complete dead weight, ruthless operations got boring, and yet somehow on the patch notes, enemies got nerfed. Sure, I could run with solo to make it more interesting, but that is not the point. I want to have fun running with a good team. At the end of the day, so many players are seasonal ones. The hardcore players are the ones who will actually stick around through the years. It's like that in every game, and the guys seem to have forgotten this in this patch. We need to raise the bar ASAP. Here's a response. Chaos was certainly nerfed too hard. Do you guys feel like the difficulty is right where it should be right now, or do you want it reverted back to the old difficulty where I guess you would say it was far more challenging, but some people would also say that it was completely unfair? And then we also have this right here. Game is not too easy, and the actual statistics. So let's dive into the investigation. It says, to all the raging get-gooders who say the game is now only for casuals, oh boy, you're such an elite. Just check out Steam achievements and across other platforms if you have to. Valor Crest on Steam, completing one op on Ruthless difficulty. Only 10.8% of players have done this. Now go ahead and tell us how the game is going to be dead in a month because of us, the cursed casuals, who wanted a better experience instead of banging our heads on the wall and then pretending concussion makes us elite gamers. Here's a response. Reddit is always just the loud minority, the super nerds. I wouldn't think twice about the complaints. Yeah, you know, I have also been seeing people praising this game as well. Check it out. It says this: the new patch goes hard. Okay, so having played max difficulty all day since the patch dropped, I love the changes to parry, range damage, etc. I feel they really added an extra skill ceiling. If you mess up, you're still going to get flattened, but if you make proper use of positioning, parry, and dodge, it feels amazing. I literally had a point where I held out against the swarm for 2 straight minutes while I waited for my team to respawn. It was intense, hectic, and incredibly punishing, but also so rewarding when you kite the swarm around, perfect pairing, dodging, and gun striking in a red mist. I cannot wait for the next difficulty up, and of course, the rewards. Yeah, remember, there is going to be another difficulty added to the game here as we head into, you know, year one battle plan, as they call it. But yeah, you know, that got 1,900 upvotes. Again, the majority of the community, at least from what I'm seeing, is definitely enjoying it. But you got to remember, these updates are designed to be kind of like future proof. Someone brought up this point as well. It says, the new changes make me want that horde mode from the roadmap ASAP. I am thinking a lot of these new changes were committed to because they've probably been testing the horde mode out and making adjustments accordingly to make horde mode also feel really, really good for players, so you can stay in horde mode even longer. So I think they're kind of prepping things as we go and fine-tuning the game as a whole before we get into new operations and even higher difficulties as well. Also, check this out here. Feels like we got 4 new operations. Again, people celebrating the fact that the operations feel great now with this new direction. And he says, keep it up. We love this game. That goes straight out to the dev team. I know I'm enjoying it, but there are some strange things happening. I did mention earlier in the video about data mining. So I found this post here, definitely piqued my interest because there was also a reply in this post. It says perfect dodge windows are decreased in substantial and above difficulties. It should be known to all players that both dodge invulnerability and perfect windows are decreased by 35% for substantial and ruthless difficulties. So if you're getting hit by stuff that you're like, I swear I dodged that, well, that's why muscle memory honed on lower difficulties will actively mess you up on higher difficulties. I hope Saber changes this. This is not good game design. Now, I was wondering, like, what is the source of this information? There was a reply, and this guy named Optical Gaming apparently data mined the game and discovered what is actually going on underneath the hood when it comes to the difficulties. Check it out right here. Now, of course, this might change in the future, but this is called PvE modifiers. And of course, you have the minimal. You guys can pause the screen. I'm not going to go over all of it because the most important stuff happens with substantial and beyond. And the most noteworthy stuff here is the negative 35% dodge invulnerability and perfect dodge windows. And the same thing is true here of ruthless. And yeah, a lot of people have a problem with that they would be changing that whatsoever. And some people are saying messing with dodge timings based on difficulty is so unbelievably stupid. Now, I would love for the dev team to come out and let us know their plans for this. Yeah, and I gotta admit, if this is true, and apparently it is, and by the way, I did ask Optical Gaming, hey, has this changed after the patch? And he said, no, this is still the same as it was. So yeah, if this is the actual case on how things are working with difficulty, I think that would be a shame. I think difficulty should be increased based on the fact that, hey, you're going to get more swarms, the number is going to increase, and then also you're going to get new move sets for some of the enemies to make it more challenging. That's what I always view as a better experience when increasing difficulties, and I hope that they lean into that more as we get into the game and higher difficulty levels. Because I notice a lot of you guys would prefer actually more swarms instead of them taking away, you know, the population of the enemy when it comes to higher difficulties. And I also got to say, one of the crappiest experiences when it comes to difficulties when they just double down on adding more and more health to enemies. Yeah, it's definitely tricky developing for difficulty settings, I am sure. But again, you know, right now, overall, I'm still enjoying the hell out of the game, despite some of the strange oddities involved with some of this stuff. But some people have noticed some weird things happening with dodge, and I think that maybe, just maybe, the developers will, you know, adjust this or say something about it in the future. But, you know, there's also some strange things happening around melee gameplay and swarms, and it's very strange. The more aggressive you are towards the enemy, apparently they will notice this and attack you even more. And if you are basically countering them and parrying them, they will be less aggressive. I have actually noticed this as well, by the way, firsthand. So check out this clip right here. It says this: melee gameplay after patch 3. And it goes to show how the entire swarm here is kind of docile and you know, deciding on what to do. And he parries. And of course, the same thing happens. Now, some people are saying this is a glitch, and others are saying, well, no, this is the way the AI works. This is actually how aliens would react to you of course. Let me know if you guys have noticed this. I'm going to run some more tests as well, but it seems like if you're a little bit more cautious on how you attack the enemy in certain cases, they will respond either more aggressively towards you, or they will be like, what's this dude up to, and attack one at a time. So I found that very, very interesting. All right, so yeah, there were some customization changes as well with this brand new update, and there's a lot of you guys that are very happy with some of these changes, but part of the community not so happy. Check it out. It says this: color change. The U-shaped bone pauldrons now look like a yellowish gold instead of matching the helmet of the same color. RIP First Company Space Marines. And you know, if you're designing your Space Marine in a particular way and they change something and it breaks it, that really sucks. Here are some responses. For the First Company, I use white scar colors, and also they're swapped around Iron Hand Steel and non-oil for unapparent reasons. So my Death Company Blood Angel is ruined. I know, I had the iron hands on my Ultramarine Bulwark to look like a company champion. Ruined. This is what I had. Now his helmet is black. LOL. That is such a bummer, I gotta say. And I suppose the reasons for this is to make it more accurate. Let's go to the patch notes. Yeah, this is what did it right here. They fixed several issues with the default colors being wrong on some chapters. Iron Warriors, for example. So I guess it was something dealing with being lore accurate to, of course, Games Workshop. There's some people out there blaming Game Workshop, of course, but they are very particular when it comes to the Warhammer 40K franchise. And in some ways, I do understand that. And, you know, some people want them to revert this back, saying these color changes are ass. I'd actually rather them go back to how they were. In response here, yeah, I think the community is in agreement on that. Saber seem to genuinely care about their fan base, so I think they may overturn some things. Hopefully they do, or best yet, just make all colors available at all times. Yeah, that would be ideal, of course, but again, it seems like they're seeking accuracy when representing chapters and I suppose going back to the lore of the game. But we also got to talk about why the Saber CEO is actually being praised today. So check it out right here. It says this from Barely Funny. The Saber CEO is a legend. Devs got the W. Henry Cavill is a hero. Wanted to give thanks to the devs and Saber CEO for holding true to the lore and creating a game without pushing morals, agendas, or politics, putting so much time into a masterpiece of a game. I've been playing with my squad of 8 or so since early access, and we are all very happy with how the game turned out. I see a lot of posts about a lot of different things, and we know you guys are working on it. Just wanted to let you know we all appreciate your time, work, and efforts on the game, and holding true to the lore, not giving into politics, agendas, morals, whichever it may be, for creating a game where everyone and anyone can enjoy regardless of who they are or what is going on in the world. It is nice to escape and have fun for a bit without the bothersome topics of in real life world infiltrating the game and killing the vibes. Couldn't have said it better myself. Also, wanted to mention, I love that Henry Cavill is standing his ground against Amazon, wanting to change the lore in Warhammer 40K show. I also adore how Henry Cavill is a huge Warhammer 40K nerd, and the same guy who played Superman, excuse me. He really is a hero for the Warhammer 40K universe. If you think I am wrong, imagine what the franchise would be like without these legends stepping up and holding the ground for the lore. Love it. Great job, everyone. I don't know about you all, but this is where loyalty and admiration is built. He got a lot of responses appreciating this post, and I gotta say, you know, I've seen the comments from the Saber CEO and a lot of the Saber, leads, and I just love their mentality when it comes to this game in particular, and also game development. They're going to stick to their guns and do it their way. You know what I mean? So I absolutely love that. All right, so now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It can end up right here in a future video. So let's do this. All right, so first and foremost, we have this one right here. Are people actually complaining about them fixing the Melta? My brother in the Emperor. If you need bugs to win, you desperately need to get good. 480 upvotes. So it seems like a lot of you guys actually don't mind the changes, or I should say the actual fixes to the Melta. So that's actually refreshing to see. I thought for sure there would be a lot more blowback when it came to the Melta. So it's good to see that everyone understands where the dev team is coming from. All right, so it says this. No bolter love stinks. I agree. I think that they need to do something for the bolter weapons because personally, I just love the sound of them, the look of them, the feeling of them the most in the game, and I think they need to definitely do some sort of adjustments with them. Now, there are some bolter weapons when you get further into the actual, you know, elite versions of them, I suppose you would say the relic versions, that they get really, really good, of course. So it might be that they need to fine-tune the earlier damage output, perhaps, maybe, I don't know, of those bolter weapons, but that's going to be ultimately up to the dev team for sure. All right, so we have main sniper and zoanthropes are just candy to me. Their heads are so big. One reason to absolutely love the sniper rifle. Easily get those headshots. Now it says patch feels so much better. The armor damage changes with smaller enemies was so needed. I am loving facing off against hordes now. It feels so damn good. Once you learn how to really parry the smaller enemies, I'm not talking about that there, I'm talking about like even simpler parries, you can really, really have some survivability on the battlefield now. Has anyone noticed a performance drop post-patch? My settings remain the same, yet I'm down 20 frames per second from 60, which now feels bad. Sad face. You know, with comments like this, I kind of wish you guys would let us know what your system specs are. Is it AMD that you're running on? What is it that you're dealing with when it comes to system specs? Because that sort of thing would be, I think, super helpful to the dev team to just be able to scroll through comments and go, okay, we're seeing a lot of people with this sort of system spec layout. And yeah, now we know perhaps what to adjust. I myself, I haven't noticed any impact on performance. You know, it's so strange. You know, it's been running very good for me. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones in that regard, but I have definitely noticed an increase between Reddit, Steam forums, and so on that people are complaining about performance issues after the patch. So yeah, there's definitely something going on. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Space Marine 2. I'll have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.